What is up, everyone? This is Kevin with Spinistry checking in with our latest edition of Spinistry Chat. And today we're going to go over our general Gravelthon route overview for next weekend, as well as talk about some of the findings for what I'm calling the Segment 1 Scout. And that's what's running on the screen right now is a relive video from my scouting ride. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. And that particular section itself does link a few pieces together that needed to be scouted out, and that's why I scouted that particular segment out. But we'll do a general route overview of which parts of Dallas are available to us and what we expect to use. For those that aren't familiar with Gravelthon, what that is, basically it's an urban adventure ride in the heart of Dallas. Put together a general master loop of 100 miles or so that combines Trinity River Levee roads, which are mostly gravel, but there's some paved bike trails in there as well. The Katy Trail, White Rock Lake, but also definitely some surface streets to connect all the pieces for this 100-mile loop that's roughed out at the moment. For any sort of mileage that you want to do, and as little or as much bike path and trail that you want to use, that's available as well. The main overview, the spine, the core is the Trinity River Levees and the levee bottoms throughout the city of Dallas. There's a network of gravel roads and bike paths through there that you never have to get on surface streets. And you can wind in and out and go back and forth, out and back. And if you're looping it, get as much mileage as you ever want. This master loop that we put together incorporates some pieces that go down into the Great Trinity Forest up here towards White Rock Lake, and also a little bit of Bachman Lake as well. Do as little or as much as you want to. This is not an official event. This is just a general Club Spinistry ride. We're going to meet up 9 a.m. on Saturday at the Kirk Pedestrian Bridge. And Club Spinistry members will have access to the different suggested routes that anybody wants to follow, but you're welcome to freeform and do your own thing as well. I think at the moment myself, I'm going to attempt this 100-mile route. I'd like to scout a few more pieces of it. Let's the general overview, this southeast corner here, this is what I'm calling segment 1. This is what I scouted physically the other day on Monday. Just make sure the pieces and parts work correctly on that, because there's more connecting segments in here, and we'll talk about that a little bit. If you stay basically between 183 and the Santa Fe Trestle, you can just do continuous loops and get lots of gravel miles in here, incorporate a little bit of paved bike path as well. This segment that goes down to Loop 12 and past Loop 12 and back has some good stuff. There's actually more on here that's not shown on this map. We have a shorter route that incorporates more of that. This one picks up a little bit of the Campion Trail and heads up on surface streets through LB Houston Park area on Wildwood and over to Bachman Lake. But this definitely does take in more street sections here. If I get a chance, I'm going to try to scout some of this out as well. Obviously, our weather this week hasn't been particularly helpful on that. Our northeast corner over here that does White Rock Lake is mostly Katy Trail and paved trails in and out and around White Rock Lake, but there are some surface street connectors mixed in as well. More than likely, not going to have a chance to scout this particular segment through here, but it is stuff I've ridden in the past. Sunday, this is my Strava for the actual ride that I did. And some of this I do want to go over in detail, because like I said, it's connecting different trail segments that some are complete, some aren't complete yet. There's A few mud holes that some people may opt to utilize that I'm personally going to bypass myself. I kind of want to point those out. We do, the way I'm laying it out, I am incorporating some surface streets that I'm pretty comfortable with, and I'm generally not comfortable with surface streets in general. Lots of generals in that general statement there. Starting from the Kirk Pedestrian Bridge, the old Continental Avenue Bridge, that's now the Kirk Pedestrian Bridge Park, whatever you want to call it. Kind of go southeast. You have your option of a combination of paved and gravel through some of this and rough asphalt for a lot of it. As you get down towards the Santa Fe Trestle crossing, if you're doing one of the shorter routes, you can just take the northeast turn here and just take the Santa Fe Trestle crossing over the river the way I did it myself. I wanted to check out the Great Trinity Forest stuff. Let's see if we can. We'll come back. All right. So instead of crossing the Santa Fe River Trestle Bridge, went here, caught a little bit of surface street action. There's some construction through here. My guess is on a Saturday they won't be working. You never know. And what I tried was there's a bike path, partial bike path section that goes to here, but at this point it goes the overpass goes over it, and hypothetically, if everything's dry, you can go south here and meet up with the route. But it was not dry on Monday when I went through, and there was a lot of mud there. I doubt it's ever completely dry, but I'm not an expert on that. I have no intention myself to find that out during the Gravelthon ride. I'm going to go ahead, and I had to double back that day. I had to double back Monday. Take the surface streets through here. Goes by the water treatment plant, Sergeant Park. And this was a perfectly fine road. Hardly anybody was on it. So this is the route I'm going to take myself. And still on surface streets here. You go under the underpass here, and it's closed to motorized traffic. There's barricades there, but it's part of the this is state of Texas right of way. It is open to bicycles and pedestrians and stuff like that. There's actually a roadway underneath, and it catches some levee trail right here just under the overpass. We'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit tighter on this segment here. I turn this into a full loop, which I'm fine with. Where are we at? There we go. Okay, so this is where it goes under Julius Sheps, catches the Trinity River Levees here. Not crystal clear where you cross when I looked at the maps, but you don't go all the way to the river. There's actually there's a grass pathway just before, lots of brand new gravel. You don't go into the loose gravel, the loose aggregate. You hang a right, go under that overpass, and then you catch more paved trail. And you're on paved trail here. And if you saw the pictures on that Relive video with that rough paver section, that part's right here. It's a short segment, but it is rough. This is all paved trail through here. And Loop 12, I believe. This one is it's a 4-lane road with a median that you have to cross to get from one park segment to the next. Not a huge deal. The median lets you jump over 2 lanes at a time. Let's go. There we go. And then we're basically in the Great Trinity Forest Trail, and it'll connect with the AT&T Trail up towards the golf course here. This is a really neat Great Trinity Forest segment here. Turns into AT&T Trail all the way to here. Then it catches a dead end road, has trail next to it most of the way through. And then you cross the road here, and you do a little bit of surface street stuff. Not bad at all. There we go. Come back down towards the Audubon Center and take the Great Trinity Forest Trail back. If you've never ridden any of this stuff, it's a nice little ride to see how it all connects back together. When I came back, I tried a different route. It's kind of a 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If you don't want to go over that paver section again, you go through a little grass loop here and catch a road section. That it is a dirt double track trail section with a little trailhead area there. Then you catch some surface street action for a bit and wind back here. Again, took the surface streets back again. Got a little turned around at this segment again and came to a dead end. There is no additional trail there yet. Looks like maybe in the future those will connect potentially. And took it back to the levee system and got on across the river at the Santa Fe Trestle. We'll drag this down some more, see how I finished this loop. Again, this ended up being a 40-mile-ish loop, if I remember correctly. Get back to the trestle crossing. There it is. And then this was all Trinity River levees through here. A combination of paved and unpaved stuff. Go under Sylvan Bridge and back to Ron Kirk Pedestrian. So that all works and is verified. And that's the biggest segment of going outside of the levees and existing trail systems that needed to connect the dots. We'll provide this map for this, the GPS file for this for all Club Spinistry members that sign up for Gravelthon, as well as the full 100-mile loop. It will include this, and I'll update as the rest of the 100-mile loop is verified as well. Let's go back to the ride. So this is the current route. Basically everything to the southeast is verified. Everything basically in the river channel we know is good to go. I did this segment with Monster Cross. I know that's good. And I would like to verify this road section here, potentially. So that's a little bit of an out and back the way I had that working. And you can also take that corner out and just go up here if you're wanting to catch the Bachman Lake Loop. We'll have numerous distance options pre-mapped, but it's, you know, ride at your own risk, for lack of a better term. Nothing is going to be guaranteed. Nothing is set up to be it's not, to the best of my knowledge, none of this is trespassing. It's all right of way for bicycles. If I make a mistake in that, you know, please act responsibly. Don't ignore a no trespassing sign if you do come across one. The caveat to that I will make is the levee roads themselves, most have barriers across them at the different ends where motorized vehicles can access them that say road closed. But if you read the signage, it says, you know, closed to motorized traffic. Pedestrians and bicycles are welcome to use the levee roads. So that's not a problem. It's closed to motorized vehicular traffic. And the idea is who's ever doing it as a group on Saturday will meet up at the Ron Kirk Pedestrian Bridge and take off in different groups. Find somebody that's going the distance that you're going, or tag along as long as you want. I recommend everybody to have the different routes available to them. We're not going to have an organized structure of this group's riding 18 miles an hour, this group's riding 12. It's You stick with whoever you want to ride with while you can. Nobody's obligated to keep track of anyone. There's no SAG vehicles. There's no water tables or anything like that. I'm out there riding myself. We're just going out there, have fun, explore Dallas, a nice urban adventure. I would consider, as a whole, I would consider this, the potential for an all-weather ride. But there will definitely be segments that if it's raining that day, days immediately before, or if we have lots of rain the week before, there will be segments that you won't want to utilize a bicycle through. There's no doubt about that. But there will be segments that can be tied together that would meet almost any weather conditions as well. And one other, and we'll have this map linked. Durant Greenwood linked this. His name's on it. I assume he's the one that built it. Currently, Durant's map has a bunch of different beer stops highlighted on it as well. I am quite certain I will be utilizing one or two of these along the way. There's also some tacos along the way. I know a couple of spots myself. I requested that hopefully they add some other taco stops along here. I do plan to stop along the way when I'm out and about on Saturday for tacos and beer here and there. So that's the general overview. And again, the specific for that southeast corner that is completely verified now. There's those pavers I was talking about. The rest of it doesn't need to be verified specifically. I'm going to try to check out that northwest corner has probably the most road sections. I may just drive that and just see what it looks like from a traffic perspective currently. I've done it in years past, but it's been a while. So there is the potential that traffic is worse there than I remember, and it may not be recommended. So yeah, that segment was 42.5 miles. There's probably a mile extra out and back stuff that wouldn't be utilized at all. If you have any questions, post comments, send me an email, and look forward to seeing everybody Saturday, March 5th in Dallas.